What is up, my brothers from another mother and my rational sisters? You know, it's funny, in the comments the other day, somebody goes, there's no rational sisters. Maybe you should say my 3 rational sisters that might exist out there. Anyway, I got a email from a subscriber, and I'm going to read it to you. It's more of a thank you note, but it's going to segue into a topic that I've been meaning to do for a while. So without any further delay, let me hop into it. He's a longtime subscriber from the UK. It was coming from a guy that was in a relationship for a year and a half and having looked at your video, which is titled, Why Do Women Use Shaming Tactics on Men? Card up on the top right if you're watching this on mobile or desktop. For 3 times, I've come to the conclusion that I owe you a personal thanks a lot and also an apology. He goes, first the apology. I should say sorry for first not believing you, and second for being part of the group of men who had lost their spine to a woman. When I first saw your video, I couldn't relate to what you were saying. A friend of mine had showed me the video and told me that I need to look at it. I was slightly offended at the time. That's what usually happens when I point to the cold hard truth and I deliver these truth bombs. Is it can be offensive to, it seems to be more offensive to women than it is to guys, but it will offend guys too if you're a blue pill thinker. When I first saw the video, I couldn't relate to what you were saying. A friend of mine showed me the video. I was slightly offended at the time, as my friend too had also called me out for losing a grip on my independence and also my manhood. So when I watched your video, it made me think, and it also made no sense because I was confused. He goes, I remember thinking to myself, that can't possibly be my girlfriend. She's loving and caring, and whenever she does say something to me, it's because it's me who's done something wrong, so I should apologize. This is a trap a lot of guys get into. We're like, you're just bending over backwards, apologizing for everything and not letting her take any ownership for her shit. Now, I know you're possibly thinking, oh boy, what happened to you? And honestly, I ask myself the same question to this day. However, upon looking at your video for the second time, and after a heated argument between me and my girlfriend, I did begin to start taking in what you said. After the second viewing, your points did begin to sink in. Especially, anger is a legitimate response in the face of injustice. The passive acceptance of evil is not a virtue. I'm going to talk about some experiences after I'm done reading this about anger and anger management, because women tend to, well, hold on a sec, I'll get to that in a second. And being angry all the time, he goes, I can relate to this saying. I thought, hey, I'm angry, and I'm angry for a reason. And thinking back to the argument, it wasn't even my fault. However, I admit I was wooed back to her with the infamous, I miss you, which was explained in a Facebook Messenger message. Now, again, I will admit that I have no spine, and I wish I had viewed your other videos, which would have taught me not to take her back ever unless you want trouble. Okay, and trouble was what I found. It also, so he broke up with her and then took her back in. And I've talked about this before, where, you know, if you break up and, you know, it's over, when you take the trash to the curb, you don't go down to the curb later on rummaging through it. Your neighbors see you do it. There's nothing there of any use. Just let the garbage man come pick it up. Okay? Anyway, so he got back together with her, but after having 2 more months of us trying again, we had taken a shopping trip. However, she began an argument whenever I said that I wasn't going to buy her this gold watch that she wanted. She wants him to buy him a gold watch. I just bought her one last week, and she said this one was twice as good. It was also twice as expensive, too. So when I finally said no, she used the iconic shaming tactics that I brought up in that video. Again, the card will be up at the top right. You can go and check it out. Saying how I'm apparently sexist and that I spend my money on myself more than I do on her. It's pretty outrageous, I know. And I remember thinking there and then, why am I still with this leech? All she wants is my money, and she will blame it on me when she doesn't get what she wants. So I just went up and left her there and then. Of course, she tried heckling me on the street outside the shop window where she wanted the watch. So the dude's leaving the shop, and she's heckling him on the street in the public, where she wanted the watch, but I just kept walking. I gave her £10 for a taxi. Dude, I wouldn't even given her a dime. I would have just left. Gave her £10 for a taxi to get home. You're much more. Anyway, and I walked out to the parking lot and drove home. That was it. He goes, I was 18. So this is an 18-year-old guy that bought his girlfriend a gold watch, goes shopping with her a week later, and she wants another fucking gold watch. And I feel as if I had heeded your messages sooner, I would have grown a spine back a lot quicker for not believing you and suffering financially, emotionally, and psychologically. I apologize. I accept your apology. Thank you. But you don't need to apologize. I'm just glad that you're a better person for being exposed to my content. So thank you. Now, here's where that personal thanks a lot comes in. You helped me so much. You liberated me from a toxic relationship, and now I can actually live my life without this constant pressure to please someone all the time. There's nothing more exhausting than being in a relationship where you're trying to please somebody that's completely unpleasable. Trust me. Wow. It is exhausting. Yes. My brother, I'm glad you recognize that at a much younger age, because it took me a lot longer to figure it out. A grand statement, I know, but my opinion doesn't matter. I'm 19 now. I've taken a break from relationships for a while, so I can just recuperate and prepare to find another partner. Maybe I should look at your video, how I should pursue women for advice. Okay. Yeah, okay. Thanks, brother. So I want to go back up to the anger management thing. So the topic of anger is, now, women will tend to use the anger management thing. I've had a couple of guys write me in the past and ask me to do a topic on it, and I just haven't figured out a way to put it together. But because this story came up, I'm going to dive into a personal experience. So when it comes to anger, guys, women will tend to use this, you're an angry guy or you need anger management when it comes to you not placating their needs. Like, he knew that buying her a second gold watch a week after buying the first watch was completely unreasonable, and getting angry at that is a legitimate response in the face of injustice. That's what anger is. It's a natural human behavior. If something unjust happens that violates your core values, your belief system, you will get angry. I see people do this. I have a friend that gets really angry driving. I can't drive in a car with him because he has like road rage all the time. But he'll yell at people and honk. And I've told him constantly, in the past is, dude, there's nothing you can do about it. They're in that car, you're in this car. You think yelling and screaming and waving fingers, they're going to see it and all that sort of stuff, but they don't. They don't care. It doesn't have any effect or change their behavior or their life. All it does is it riles you up, increases your blood pressure. It's not good for you. So the thing is that women will sometimes use the anger card on you to suggest that you need to curb your anger. You need to chill out. But there's nothing wrong with getting angry in an unjust scenario. Many moons ago, dated a woman that had kids. And I'll be honest, hindsight's 20/20, of course. But now that a few years has passed, her kids were these entitled bratty assholes sometimes. There was much love for a lot of the things that I had done with them, but they also had a tendency to be bratty assholes, entitled bratty assholes. So there was a time that I got angry. I had built one of her kids a potato cannon. He was a cottager, like cottages, things like that, had never had a potato cannon. Here in Ontario, in cottage country, we like to build potato cannons. And you basically create this, it takes a few hours to build. You got to go to the hardware store and put it together, and it's this tube, and you launch a potato across the lake. It becomes fish food. And he was behaving like a bratty little asshole, and I got angry. And she started to throw you have anger management issues, you da-da-da-da-da. Anyway, shortly after that, we broke up. Now, I like to work on my own shit. You guys know that my channel is about becoming a better version of myself, and I hope you guys do as too. I'm glad that this subscriber does. So I talked to a couple of friends of mine, a couple of female friends. One of them recommended that I talk to a psychotherapist that deals with these types of relationships and breakups, and I booked an hour of her time. And I let her know, what was going on in my world, how it felt, and brought up the anger management thing. And I was like, do I really have anger issues? And she pointed it out to me. She said, no, anger is a legitimate response in the face of injustice. They were behaving like assholes. She should have supported your position and parented, in accordance with where you were going, but she didn't, because, that's just what happens sometimes with single moms. I could do a whole long video on those details. I mean, I'll put a card up. You can check in the top right-hand screen my experience dating a single mom. But there's nothing wrong with getting angry, okay? Let it happen. Let it out. Blow off the steam. I mean, as long as you're not hurting people or, breaking things, throwing things across the room, stuff like that, chucking shoes at people or whatever it might be, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. So you're welcome. I think your name's Darren. You're welcome for helping you out. I'm glad you've opened your eyes. You've taken the red pill. You've got a little more awareness around women and dating and what you should and shouldn't tolerate. I also, again, wanted to share my experience around the whole anger issue because I wanted to find a way to answer this for other subscribers that have asked me to talk about it. So that was my personal experience. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what your thoughts or experience have been with that, with partnerships, with women, guys, ladies, if you're watching the video. Let me know what you think. Leave them in the comments below. Smash the like button. If somebody needs to see this, show it to them, share it with them. And of course, if you do need one-on-one coaching, I'm available, clarity.fm/Richard Cooper. Great way to support the channel. Or if you want to become a Patreon to support my work, there's always a link at the end of the video and in the description below. Thanks again. Talk to you guys later. Peace.